Hi and welcome to the course. So in the first video we're going to be looking at how to download and install Blender. So the first thing that you need to do is open up the browser that you're using on your computer, and I'm using Google. So I'm opening up Google. Next thing that we need to do is search for Blender, right? So we're just going to search for Blender, and once we have Blender over here you can see it's blender.org, just to be correct. Okay, let's just click on Blender. Okay, so now it's opening up. Once it's opened up, you can see that it greets us with a lovely picture over here. So we're just going to click on download, and then it brings us to the download page over here. Perfect. So the current Blender that we will be using or downloading is 4.0.2. So if you click down below here on this drop down, you see there's a couple of options that they give you over here, right? First of all, this is different OS like, right? Softwares. Like for example, we have Windows, Mac OS, Linux, and then we have Steam, right? And over there we have the source code, which is something that we're not concerned about at the moment. So over here we have the Windows installer, right? So this is just a normal installer which will be installed onto your computer, laptop, or whatever you're using. And then we have the portable, the Windows portable zip file. So what happens with this is if you do not like or would not like to install the software onto computer, you can use the portable version of it, right? And as you can see, there's quite a number of options that they do give you, like you can download from the Microsoft Store as well as Linux, Intel, and Apple Silicon, so forth, right? So the first thing that we want to do is click on the download button over here, and as soon as you click on it, it will then bring this splash page over here, which will then ask you if you would like to donate to Blender. So because Blender is open source, everything that Blender offers is quite free, besides the add-ons or plugins that is used on Blender, which some guys actually create to create some money from, right? So that is something nice, and we can then of course now submit some capital towards Blender and donate to them. Okay, so that's something nice that you could do. Okay, so now that I've downloaded Blender, all that I'm going to do is minimize the screen over here or the window, and then just double click on the installation, right? So it's loading up, and then over here we have the setup, right? So you can read through all of those things if you need to. However, I'm just going to click on next, and then you can read through the terms and conditions and so forth. I'm just going to select this and go next, and then this is where Blender will be installed onto your computer or laptop or device, and then I'm just going to install it, right? So this is the status bar as to how far Blender is installed and how long to still wait. Okay, so as soon as Blender is done installing, all that you can do is click on finish, and on the top left over here you'll see that the Blender icon is currently here. So we're just going to double tap on the Blender icon and open up the software. So the first time Blender does open, of course, it's going to take some time, so please be patient as it opens up. Okay, so as soon as it opens up, right, it gives you a splash screen over here, which is a lovely splash screen, I must say. So you can see the creator, of course, now is over here, and his name is written over there, right? So we have the different options as English, and then we have the shortcuts, which gives you Blender, Blender 27X, which is the normal Blender settings, and then we have the industry compatible, so which would include different industry compatible shortcuts, right? However, we do also have the select with, meaning that you can either select with your right button or select with your left button. Okay, and then the next thing that we do have is the space bar. So the space bar also has three options where you can either play, select your tools with it, or you can search with it, right? Which is something quite useful. Okay, and then we have the last option, which is the themes, and as you can see there's a number of them, and yeah, you can just select anything that you're comfortable with. However, for me, I believe that this is okay. I'm just going to make sure that I do select the right select, because I'm quite used to Blender being a right. select. Okay, right button select. So let's just go and click on continue. And then the next thing we do see is there's a couple of options that we do have here, and that we'll be dealing on later on. Okay,